how to successfully launch a new product. Now, I'm not going to tell you to run to Facebook ads and start spending out money that you may not have yet, at least not now. What I'm going to show you though is how I like to go launch products in a way that sets you up for ads and makes it so that you make more cash on the way. Let's dive in. All right, the first info product I ever put together, it took me 8 months to go build it. And the way I launched it was this. You may have done the same, which is probably why you're looking at this video. I made a Facebook page, and then that was it. There wasn't a launch. That's not a launch. All I made was a Facebook page. And that was the issue. I never knew that I had to launch the product. So the big problem here is that someone finishes their product today, and then they're like, I'm gonna launch tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying you can't start selling immediately, but just take it from me. I went through 34 product failures over 5 years. And then there was a really key piece that snapped, and I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. And I went through 46 successes in a row after that. What was the difference between 34 and 46? This topic. And so what I'm gonna show you in this video is the 3 rules of launching that you have to follow, or you just don't make any money. Let's dive in. Launch rule number 1, you have to treat your actual product launch like a holiday. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I'm a huge fan of P.T. Barnum. If you ever saw the show, The Greatest Showman, Greatest Showman is such a good movie. A lot of it was actually made up. Okay, P.T. Barnum had a circus as a retirement project. His real thing was a museum. He was not some struggling guy with his young family who's all poor. That was straight Hollywood. He was the second millionaire in America, all right? So Hollywood definitely doctored up that movie quite a bit. But one of my favorite true campaigns from him was when he found this mermaid off the coast of Fiji. And someone brought him this mermaid. It was the top of a monkey sewed to the bottom of a fish, okay? And they're like, look at this mermaid. And he decided to play a joke on the public. And he's very famous for this. He called them hoaxes. And he decided he'd pull a hoax off on the public. And what he did is he had, don't do this, okay? This is the 1800s, there's no FTC back then, right? He had his friend pose as a doctor. Can't do that. And he started leaking letters between him and this fake doctor to the press for various locations. And so now the press is just starting to catch wind of what's going on. Someone caught a mermaid. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. They didn't know the details, but now there's starting to be wonder and curiosity and excitement. Then he has his fake doctor friend go to Philadelphia from New York and stay at a hotel, a very specific hotel, because the owner knew tons of editors. And so thank you so much for letting me stay in this hotel. I appreciate it so much. Oh, by the way, can I show you the Fiji mermaid that everyone's talking about as a thank you for letting me stay here? Bring all your friends. All of them are editors. So now there's buzz in Philadelphia, there's buzz in New York. We're not done though. P.T. Barnum basically littered 10,000 leaflets with mermaids that looked nothing like the real mermaid, saying, hey, here comes the Fiji mermaid to my museum. It'll be open on this day, at this time, at my museum for only 1 week. Date, time, location, availability. Okay, then he's not done. He went to every single one of the news stations and he said, they're all newspapers, and he said, I'm gonna give you exclusive coverage. And then he said that to every newspaper. All of the newspapers showed up on the day of the launch. All these people came in. For fear they'd be the only one that wouldn't cover it, every newspaper covered it, and he exploded. It's one of his first big hoaxes. He did it a lot. He was very famous for them, so the public wasn't ticked or anything, okay? But now think about this. We actually use the same model today when we are marketing, when we're creating a launch. And I need you to do the same thing. Hollywood does it, okay? Think about this. Date, time, location, availability. Okay, Hollywood, a year out, says, coming next summer, right? And they're like, check it out, here comes a movie. Then 6 months later, a new preview comes out, right? Then like 3 months out, another preview comes out. Then the night before, or the week before, all the actors go on tour and they go on the Tonight Show and then they check it out. What was it like to be in that scene? Let's watch it. Oh my gosh, that's nuts. Check it out, box office weekend, folks, right? It's the same launch model every time. They know how to launch their product. And so you need to treat it like a holiday. What's one thing that comes with every holiday? Okay, what do I mean when I say that? Guys, you have to get good at evoking the emotion anticipation. It has been proven that you will anticipate and have just as much joy to a trip of Disney as you will at Disney. Does that make sense? You can actually double your joy by saying, getting really excited, all the lead up They said, here it comes, it's in a week, it's in a day, what are you gonna wear, what are you gonna pack, here's it going. All that anticipation brings a lot of excitement and joy and happiness, just as much as if you were at Disney. Now, that is what you're trying to do as a marketer. Your entire campaign, your entire launch is built on anticipation. So don't you dare finish your product yesterday and launch it today. That's not a launch. Launch rule number 2. Hey, you have to generate sales-based attention. Okay? No product sells itself ever. One of my favorite stories of doing this personally is actually, there's a funnel hacking live event that was coming up. It was an event for ClickFunnels. And this is just like a year or two ago. So I wasn't working there, but I was like, how could I align with the fact that they're having an event for my own business? It's not my event, but how could it is? So what we did is we held an event across the street 2 days before. So all the people that were going to be at Funnel Hacking Live, we filled our event super fast because they're like, I'll just show up 2 days early and go to Steve's also. Across the street 2 days before, we did our own event because we knew all our customers were going to be there. Okay, that is what we call aligning with noise. Now, when I say that you got to generate sales-based noise or get sales-based attention, you got 2 methods. There's only 2 ways to really do the role of a marketer, my friend. Okay, number 1, you can create noise, which is like standing on a street corner and just screaming, which some marketers do. Oh my gosh, I have a product coming up, right? They're just like, they're making so much noise, and that's hard, it's exhausting. It's a great method. People get a lot of sales from it, but it's like, that's a lot of big E entrepreneurs do that. But you might just be a small E entrepreneur. You're trying to make more money than you did in your 9 to 5. You're not trying to go create a marketplace. You're just trying to make more money. You're trying to, that's just a little bit more for a lifestyle, right? I call that small E entrepreneurship. And most of us, and if you're watching this, you're probably in that boat. So what's the way to do that? Instead of creating noise, standing on a street corner, you can align with noise. So that's what I did with Funnel Hacking Live. I said, what are the things that are coming up, all right, that I could align with and create a campaign around? Think about what they have at something like ClickFunnels. They have like 400 employees. 400. I have 4. Okay, so I can't compete with that, right? They make like 150 million a year at a minimum. Oh my gosh, it's like, I can't compete with that. You can't either. But smart marketers can find ways to align with it. Think about this. So I went in and I said, I'm going to align with their big, massive event. You know, their event cost like $4 million. That's how much I made in 2019. They spent that much on a single event. Holy crap, I can't go do that, right? But smart marketers will align with the noise. Because I can't compete with everything that a larger company is doing, I can at least use it to my advantage. Russell's making this big marketing effort, and he's got a huge marketing team over here, and he's got all these content providers over here, and he's got some massive funnel builders over here, and he's got all this stuff, and everyone's talking about this upcoming thing, and there's all this noise coming, and this big buildup. Remember we talked about anticipation is growing. Man, if I just hook my wagon, they take me further than I could take myself. That's how small little guys like us get so big so fast. Case in point, Mac versus PC. Mac was a nobody when they started the Mac versus PC commercials, right? Not a nobody, but they were not big. Okay, PC had all the market share. Everyone had a PC. No one had a Mac. So what did Mac do? They rode the coattails, baby. They immediately went against them. Okay, align with noise or create it. And aligning is way faster. You can make millions aligning with big companies' campaigns versus trying to create your own, because I don't have 400 employees to make that kind of noise. Before I show you guys where the money's actually made in all this, stay tuned. I need you to subscribe. Click the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down if you think my eyeballs are way too big. I do too, it's totally fine. I had a doctor tell me that. Tell me what you're thinking about this video though. We do a lot to make these videos awesome and exciting for you, and I'd love to get your feedback on it. In the comments though, down below, tell me whatever it is. What's the coolest Hollywood launch you've ever seen? I think for me it was that big Avengers movie, the Endgame movie. They did an amazing job choreographing that. Tell me below the coolest launch. Launch rule number 3. You have to do this or you make no money, which is to plan profits. Okay, plan profits ahead of time. Unplanned profits means no profits. That's just how it works. So a lot of people get tricked up on the way they price their product. And when you're putting a launch together, how you price matters a ton. Because the biggest thing that will kill you is to try to be the cheapest. Just don't. All right, just don't. I think it was J Abraham that said there's no strategic advantage of being the second cheapest. All right, so if you can't be the cheapest in a marketplace, be premium. Be premium. So I'm going to tell you that I always price my products about 10% premium from everybody else. And it's because I'm not going to try and be the cheapest, and I'm a business, not a charity, so I'm going to charge. But if I go, the worst thing I could do is create sticker shock. And so I can't go really high. It's a lot of sticker shock there. But I want to base it off of what people are already seeing, right? It's like if you were to go buy a house and they're like, this house, $12. You'd be like, what? Right? There's a range that we all expect prices for products to be around. And I want to be around there, but a little premium. So that's one of the first things that I do when I'm planning profits. The other thing that I do when I'm planning profits in a launch is I follow this little model. This little model was taught to me when I was at ClickFunnels, and it's been super powerful. What you do is, if you're like, man, Steven, I still can't tell what to charge for. What we do is we budget portions of the sale for specific business functions. Let me tell you what I mean there. 15% of my sale, I should be able to give to acquire the sale. Okay, 15% of the sale should be given to acquire the sale. So if I'm going to go in and I'm going to like, hey, I'm going to sell a product for $100, I'll be like, man, hopefully I can acquire the sale for $15. Phew, that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, I assumed it would be a little bit more than $15 for that, but at least I want to budget that. 15% is what I'm going to budget for fulfillment. Steve, are you telling me that you buy something for $1 and sell it for $10? Yeah. Water bottles have a 2,000% markup. Did you know that? Okay. Don't be afraid to mark up. Buy low, sell high is capitalism. All right. Everything's marked up around you. Everything. So 15% is to acquire the sale. 15% is to fulfill on the sale. And then I budget 30% of the sale for I call it the fees and crap section. Okay, fees and crap. It is to pay people and to give money to the broken business of the government, where the dirty IRS reaches their disgusting hand in my pocket and takes money out they didn't earn. I'm sorry, did all that opinion just fall out of me? I've had the videos on taxes. Anyway, then I budget 30% for margins. Okay, so if you listen to what I'm saying here, what I'm really doing is I'm budgeting 30 to 40% margin for every sale. Okay, that's a standard. That's good. That's really good, especially compared to other business models. That's quite good. So if I sell something for $100, I'm actually going to keep $30 to $40. All right. And now if I don't do that, but I'm aligning with noise and I'm treating my launch like a holiday and I'm doing all the things I'm talking about, I've seen companies like near go bankrupt because they sell at a little bit of a loss because they think that's what value is. Charge, price your thing the right way. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. In fact, I call discounting a diss to your product. There's so many other ways to create value than by discounting. Make sure you plan your profits, you just will not have any. I got a free gift for you when you go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. The link is in the description. Internetlaunchsecrets.com is a case study of my top converting campaigns ever. All the way from 3-figure, 4, 5, 6, and even 7-figure in a day campaign strategies that we have done. They're case studies. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to show you this is what we've done. This is the one campaign style we use all day, every day for every product, no matter the industry. You're going to love it, and it's free. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. Check it out.